Welcome, everyone, to this Librarians, the Next Chapter edition of Talented Universe. On this 28th day of September, I can't believe September is almost gone, but it is. I'm hoping one more co-host is going to come, but we're going to go ahead and start. I'd like to welcome Marcia and Liz today to the show, and I am going to let Liz go first today.
Oh, you little, you know what? Um, I am thrilled actually to introduce this person because I have been a humongous fan of him for years, and my daughter and I are both fascinated with a couple of his movies, which we'll discuss in a bit. But I'd like to introduce to you today Taki Todorovic. Now I can't do it, and I actually have
I know.
Ukrainian
I
and
was
Serbian
going
blood.
to introduce him. I will do that, and then you can ask questions. How about
Yes,
that, Liz?
please do. Just
Okay,
to
I'm
just
sorry
embarrass
about
myself.
that. I totally spaced it. I was so excited I got his name right, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll let Liz do it since No, Milan Todorovic. So, thank you for coming, Liz. Go for it.
But you
Oh
can just call me
Lord.
Tony as you wanted, so that's fine.
Well, I know, but I wanted to say the whole thing for the audience, and then they can learn how to say your
Say it.
other names.
Yeah.
So, because
Okay.
we'll be using it. So.
Yeah. Normally, names like that I'm able to do just fine because of my own background and stuff, but for some reason my tongue just tied up, probably because I'm excited too. Before we even start this, I wanted to wish you a early happy birthday. I know
Thanks.
you've got one coming up here next week,
Yeah.
so
Just thinking what
um,
to do for my 44th birthday.
mm, I don't know. If you're not
Just like,
working, go have fun.
now, should I make a party or shouldn't I make a party? But
You
anyway,
always
for my birthday, I'm going to the concert of Ennio Morricone's music with my girlfriend. So at
oh, it's
least
fun.
something nice.
Did I say no
Yeah,
party then?
No, but the party will be next day, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
No, I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be really fun. Um, you know, we would kind of be remiss if we didn't just briefly, and granted, this is going to be kind of librarians heavy questions, but we'd really be remiss if we didn't actually state that you were the creator of the very first Serbian horror movie. And that was, I believe, Zone of the Dead.
Well, let's say it's the first Serbian zombie movie because there were
Right.
horror movies
There
before,
were
but
horror movies before, but
Serbian
yeah,
zombie.
zombie movies.
Yeah. It was One of the Dead, or it was distributed as Apocalypse of the Dead in some of the countries. So I don't know which country got what title, but it was my very first movie when I was 26 years old. So I wanted to make a zombie movie, and everybody was laughing at me because in Serbia nobody makes zombie movies. But I kind of made it, and I made it with Ken Foree, the legend from Dawn of the Dead, George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. So he was my lead actor, and he became a good friend. And I think the best thing from making that movie is that I'm still in touch with Ken, and he's awesome. And we
I think,
actually did one more movie after that. It was called The Rift.
yes,
It's also a horror sci-fi movie, also distributed in US. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've
And
seen it. I own it. Yep. So, um, before we get too much into things, can you give us a little bit of background of how you got into? We already know you write and do other things, but into the directing side of it.
well, I actually was studying film productions, and when I was finishing university, I wanted to make a movie. So I wanted to make a movie that is going to be distributed worldwide. I didn't want to make artistic movie or some kind of local comedy or drama that will be visible only in Serbia. I wanted to make something that everybody will see. And since I'm a big fan of horror movies, I was like, if I'm going to watch horror movies from any country of the world, somebody is going to watch Serbian horror movie. So that's how I came up with the idea to make my favorite genre, zombie horror movie. And in that time, there wasn't so much zombie movies. So it was kind of, like there were maybe just a few of them when I started working on it. I mean, few in the new millennium kind of way. It was just 28 Days Later or Dawn of the Dead remake, maybe Resident Evil at that time. So it was just like a couple of them, not like now. It was just like thousands of zombie movies. And in that time, I wanted to find a director to do this movie with me. But every director I approached wanted to make it like a comedy or just some kind of like like artistic movie or something. I was like, no, it's not. It should be like a American B action movie from the 80s. So it should be something like that, and with zombies. And since no director would be like on the same path as me, I was like, I'm going to do it myself. So I started preparing this movie to direct it myself. But then at some point, the movie became international, and we got an opportunity to have Ken Foree in it. So I approached a writer to help me make a better script, and that was Milan Konjevic, who is also director on the Ark and on the Librarians. And I just met him then, and we had such a great cooperation and since he was a director, I was like, why don't we do it together? Because this would be my first ever movie, and I'm producing it and directing it and writing it. So it was just like too much for me. So we split the directing job, and it was actually good thing because I would never make it on my own because it was very complicated. It was a huge movie for that budget we had, but also a huge movie for Serbian productions. It had like hundreds and hundreds zombies almost every day, and somebody had to have them like in makeup and organize them, and we had American actors and action scenes, explosions and stuff like that. So it was just like and it started like a small movie. I was like, oh, it's going to be very small, just a few characters in police station and like in one room practically, and it was all over the city and happened a lot of stuff. So I always start like that. It will be a small movie and like two characters. My second movie, also Killer Mermaid, was also the same. It was just like, oh, it will be just two girls and two guys, and the mermaid will attack them. And it was just like on the seaside with yachts, on the abandoned island. I mean, Franco Nero was in it, so it was like a big movie again.
I'm a huge fan of Franco's work. I mean,
Me too, see?
Yeah, I know. I saw. I mean, dating back, from the '60s with, Force 10 from Navarone, and all the way up through to even children's television, which was Cars 2. I mean, I think I've probably watched the majority of his movies, so I was thrilled when you got it, and I had seen Killer Mermaid, and it was since you had mentioned it, I'm going to kind of put in with Marcia's thing, and you can answer it along with what you were doing. Did you follow the lore of some of the mermaids instead of making it like the stereotypical what we think of as a mermaid? You made this a killer mermaid, but did you do that because of some of the lore that some of the sailors in different parts of the world had done, as far as them being not really mermaids but evil creatures?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was kind of, again, when I got this, it was a synopsis I got from my friend, and I was like, this will be a good movie. And I mean, I liked it because it wasn't something we have seen recently. I mean, it was a creature feature, but it was a mermaid. And the first thing you think is like either a Little Mermaid or a Splash or something like that. Mm-hmm. But this was something very different, and that's why I had this idea that the mermaid is very beautiful when she's like hypnotizing you, but then she just morphs into a like a monster, right, when she's attacking,
almost like a siren type thing.
Yeah, her dark side. And yeah, I mean, that was, I mean, I just really just got the synopsis from a friend of mine. And since it was like already several years that I didn't make a movie, I was just like, this is going to be my movie, and I'm going to make it in next 3 months. And actually, we made it in the next 3 months. And the funny thing is, when I approached Franco Nero, I asked him to do this movie, and I told him we are shooting this in 2 months from now, and he was like, it's impossible. I was like, yeah, we're going to shoot it. We'll see. So he read the script. He called me. He said, it's terrible. I just don't like it. And I was like, okay, fine. He was like, no, but let's talk. And then he gave me a bunch of ideas, and we changed based on his suggestions. And of course, his ideas were much better. I mean, he's like Franco Nero, he's like a veteran of filmmaking. So everything he said, I was like, that's so much better. So we changed a lot of stuff based on his suggestions. And when he came to me and he said, "Man, you're making this such a low budget movie, and this final sequence, you are going to make it in 2 days, and in Hollywood they would make it in 2 months." And he was like, "I just want to see how you're going to make it." So we made it. I mean, it's not really Hollywood level, but it was a nice little climax of a small low budget horror movie, which actually looked pretty nice because of the locations in Montenegro. And I think it was cinematography was really nice. Actors were great. Christina Klebe, who was also in Zone of the Dead, came to do this movie with us, and it was a really nice experience.
No, I 100% agree with that. And I love the movie. My daughter loves the movie, but I have got to tell you, and I know I've told you, on Facebook and social media and stuff, one of our favorite movies of yours is Slaughterhouse. And that my daughter can practically quote it. And every time she has somebody new over, that's the first thing especially this time of the year, they have to sit down and watch it. And I know she's planning another Halloween party, and I know that's going to be featured again. So yeah, they do a big bash out on the front patio and everything when we have the trick-or-treaters, and they sit out there and they watch Slaughterhouse. That's one of their big things. So she wanted me to tell you she loves it still.
Yeah, I keep hearing that the people really love this movie, and it's a really fun movie. I just co-produced this movie, but I'm very proud of it because it was also something that I think it was very complicated to make because of this slot, and he was a puppet. I mean, we had to move it with like old-fashioned kind of way. But I think everything worked really well, and a lot of cast that was really great. And Stefan Kapicic from Deadpool, he was one of the special guest stars, which was great. And the sorority house is actually King's Palace in Belgrade, so we got the really nice location to shoot this. So but at the end, it was just like a super fun movie.
It definitely looked like it. On that note, I'm going to either toss it to Marsha or Michael. I'm not sure who wants to grab it.
Marsha.
Yeah, thank you. I watched Killer Mermaid twice, and I'll be honest that horror is not my genre of choice. However, I am a mermaid fan, so I was very interested in your take on the mermaid lore, and it seemed at the end that it kind of begs for more. Was there or is there a plan to see more?
Well, there was a plan, but the movie is now already 10 years old, so yeah. I'm not sure if the proper sequel can be made, but we were hoping at the time that we will make a sequel, but somehow we never got proper interest from financiers, and then we just forgot about this idea. I even had a really cool idea of making a crossover with the Zone of the Dead and Killer Mermaid because of Christina Klebe, who is the same actress in both movies. So my idea was that actually at the beginning of sequel of Killer Mermaid, her character gets killed by mermaids, and then her twin sister, who is FBI agent from Zone of the Dead, comes to solve the case and brings Ken Foree with her, and then we have Ken Foree and Franco Nero fighting mermaids. I was even thinking to have some zombies in it, but it was just maybe too much, and I never got actual proper interest from financiers.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to hurry because like Ken Foree and Franco are not really in their youth anymore. So
yeah. Well,
but I have to tell you, I met Franco last year in Rome, and he looks younger than ever. So he's like, I thought he's my age. I mean, really, I don't know what he's doing. He's like found,
Fountain of Youth.
Down the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
Wow. And my attention is drawn to your shirt.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. So are you? What will why did you choose that shirt for today? Was there?
Because it was the only clean one.
Well, that's a good reason.
Very good reason. Yes.
Okay, so jumping to there's so much to talk about with you, but jumping to the Librarians, um, the Librarians first season, it's we're looking at bringing fans into the show, so it's super important for us to get to like people that we see. So the I think the first episode that you directed was "And the Ghost Train," which is totally atmospheric, and there's so much in there. So what was your approach to that script as a director? What were some of the first things that you thought about?
Well, the first thing was that it's actually a very cool mystery. It was like some kind of Agatha Christie story,
Yeah.
but I mean, in a different way, but it had a feeling. And I was really surprised how good writing was on the characters and on the whole mystery when it all resolved at the end. I don't know if people watched it, so can I make spoilers or?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we've seen it all.
We saw it, what, 2.5, 3 months ago
Yeah.
now?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole thing with Father Time and everything and how it solves it was for me it was really like I couldn't stop reading it. So the thing is that first thing what I wanted was to have really like a good actors playing important characters and to have this connection between the old Bella and young Bella.
Yes.
And to have actresses that will have a similar kind of energy to play it. So Bella was the most, of course, important character, but also King Kavod, who was supposed to, again, be two characters. And he was supposed to be really good guy and really evil guy. So you have to find actor who can play that very convincingly. But I had a really luck that I got this script because the script was fantastic, so I was sure the episode will be good if we make it properly. And it was written by Tom McCree, who is actually he wrote for Doctor Who and for the old Librarian. He's really amazing writer, and I really had luck that one of his other scripts again came into my lab for season 2, which is again amazing episode, and you will see it next season. But it's just like mind-blowing episode again. So this was really but also the most complex part was the train. The train was the character, but also such a complex location because it's actual train, and it's President of Yugoslavia, Tito, his train. So it was like a huge train that they saved like maybe 5 or 7 or something like that wagons, and they were just not in the same order as the story is, and it was just like it was my brain was hurting every time I was supposed to have like who is going on what direction of the train and what wagon, because when they go up up front on the real location, it's actually back in the movie. And the next wagon, they enter it from another side, and it's the same side I was like, who is going where and in which direction is train going? When she falls from the roof, how is she falling through the window because she's on that train is going on that direction, or it's train going to that? It was just like
it was fun.
Yeah, but it was really heavy to shoot it. That was one of the problems, but also shooting on a real train wasn't a studio, and it's not moving, but it's still a train, so it's very small. And like every time I have to say something to the actors, I have to go out of the train, go on other side, go inside, because I couldn't pass the narrow corridors because there is like a camera and a big guy, and I just cannot pass there. So it was always like around, and then positions for the camera, that was really tricky because again, very narrow. But still, if we made it in studio, I think it wouldn't have so much details because it was authentic furniture inside and it was authentic look of the details. It is a little bit run down, but again, in the movie, it is all train, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was like there was several shots that were designed to make a trick, like people were hiding behind the chair, and then when camera moves they rise, and then they were there, they're not they were not there, now they're there in the same shot, and like moving from one king kavod to his double and stuff like that. So it was just like very carefully designed, and then we made this episode which was like 10 minutes longer than it should be. So there is like 10 minutes of this episode that stayed on the floor. And
Oh, on the cutting room floor. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
DVD.
I hope they will make a director's cut or producer's cut, because I know producers also loved the whole thing. So I think they just they couldn't air it. But there is it didn't hurt story or characters, but there were more layers to it. So and more scenes that would be that were leading to like discovery what is actually behind all things.
Mm-hmm.
And but all the most, of course, important parts are there. So, it's fine.
And we love Ivana's costuming, and so the periodic, the jumps in time, and that was fun to see. And as you were talking about the different people that were playing the same character, older and younger, that had to be a fun challenge to kind of make that seamless but different.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but as I said, I mean the character of Bella, she kind of in her mind stayed, like in that, not really in that time, but kind of she was, because she's just retired spy. She's like, she didn't have any kind of big, glamorous life after that. And she even, at the end, you can see that dying Nikolai is telling her that she should live more, not just to be stuck in her mind in that time. So I think the character of Bella was the most, as I said, trickiest one, but still I think the costumes also help that we see that it's the same actually character. And I kind of, when I came up with the idea that she hits them with the umbrella, or maybe it was in the script, but the idea was that we cannot reveal her until the very last moment. And I was like, I told her that she's like a Modesty Blaze, like retired Modesty Blaze.
Yes.
Modesty Blaze.
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Because she's like a retired female James Bond.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I like. I was like, you can make a whole TV series based on this character, literally. And she was really, really great. Also in that fight with Umbrella, some of the, there are a few, of course, beats with a stunt double, but most of the stuff she did on her own.
She did.
And then she jumped from the car in the train. It wasn't a double.
It wasn't.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so we were doing like a rehearsal, and then Sorel was doing. Her name is Sorel, and she was doing the stuff on her own, and I was like, "Can you do this?" Like when we start shooting, she was like, "Sure." So of course, the car is not really. It's not chasing the plane. It's in effect, but still, it's the car is shaking and moving back and forth. So it's not driving, but it's just like doing this.
It is moving,
and she really has to rise from the seat, hold Vikram to his hand, and literally jump into the train.
So in other words, her statement of "I'm 77," I break. That was really not her in real life. She's like, I don't care if I break. I'm doing this.
Yeah, but she's not really. 77
I know she's not 77. I know the actress isn't, but yeah.
And there is a good trivia, if you don't know that.
Oh, yes.
That her father is Richard Johnson. who was. Let me just check something. Sorry. I mean, he was in one of the most famous. Yeah, Richard Johnson. So he was in one of the most famous horror movies ever, and it's Lucio Fulci's Zombie 2.
Zombie. Oh.
He plays the doctor in this movie.
Oh,
And-
that's her dad.
Good
Okay.
heritage.
And also, his wife was Kim Novak. So
Oh,
her,
yeah.
her stepmom is Kim Novak.
Excellent. Wow. Love this trivia. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was really great to work with. I mean, really, really great. And also Natalie, who played young Bella, was also amazing. And she, after this, had some shark movie in theaters. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was like a proper indie hit. It was in theaters, even in Serbia, so it was everywhere, I guess.
Oh, neat.
What was the name of the movie? I mean,
I don't think it was Sharknado. I'm trying to think of what it was. 'Cause, yeah, I remember coming across it.
Yeah. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, we do have a question in the chat room. They were basically asking, how is it different to direct the different actors, the main cast in
Librarians.
in the Librarians? Yeah, thank you. Do you have a different style for each one, or is it kind of the same, or
so sorry, the movie is Something is in the Water.
Oh, okay.
That's right. That's right. Because I can picture the front of it.
Yeah, so it was Something in the Water. Well,
you want me to say it again, or
no, I heard it.
Okay.
Well, no, really, not really. I mean, all those four main actors are fantastic, and they were so much in their characters that there is no, specific way of just talking to each of them. It's just explaining them the scene and then talking to them what their character would do. And I mean, I always listen to actors, especially in TV series, because most of the time they know better their characters than the director, because they're in so many episodes. I do only one episode, they do 12 per season. So
yeah.
And sometimes, not in this show, but in some of the previous shows, like they already played this before I got there. So I think sometimes if I'm not sure, I just ask them, what would your character do? So it was really, really a joy to work with all of them. And they are really great. And of course, I worked before with Jessica.
With
Green.
Jessica, on the Outpost. Yeah.
So I was so happy that she got the role, because she's literally the most positive person ever, on set. So it's such a pleasure to work with her. And I think she has a really great balance between action, drama, and comedy. That was actually for her character really good. And sometimes I was just literally laughing on her, what she does, and sometimes I was almost at the edge of tears. And the moment when she gets the second chance in this movie to go to help them, and when she's like, I cannot do it, and then Bella tells her
Bella talks her
and pushes her face, and I'm like, yes. Every time I watch this, I'm just first time I've seen, not even like a director, but more like a audience. I'm like, go Charlie.
Yeah. Other thing. When I saw that episode the first time, I had no idea that those train cars weren't in the correct order, and thinking about what you must have gone through to try to lay it all out in your mind about, I cannot even imagine. I bet you had a headache for a week or two.
Yeah.
Did you have help to keep it straight?
The only two train wagons that were actually connected in the movie is that with a big table and like a salon, because it's one wagon. But when they go left, it's actually a wagon that is third on the right. When they go right, it's the first on the left. You know, I was like, and not even.
So the train cars were not hooked together; they were side by side.
No, they were hooked together.
They were hooked together. Okay.
Yeah, they were not.
But
in
they
the
were
order.
down the ways. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you go towards the locomotive. It's actually you're going back. You know, and it was just like, and the wagon that they're jumping in the from the car. It was detached wagon that was not really part of the composition. And then the other wagon that is like a storage wagon where they find wounded Nikolai. It was also on a. I mean, it's on the same location but not connected to the composition. Yeah.
Oh, that is just a nightmare logistically.
Yeah. Well, I had a great first AD.
That's why I was going to ask. I said, did you have help? So we had a good first AD.
Yeah. So the first AD and we had a drawing on the wall of our office, and then we just made like a map of the compositions, and this was like, without that we would be lost. Literally, we wouldn't know what's left, what is right.
Oh.
And the roof of the wagon was built on a backlot, so it was
backlot,
really the roof of the train. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a very complex episode on every level, you know. And I mean, as I said, this train was really, and also in that hangar where the train was, and we shot it in March. It was so cold, you cannot imagine. Like it was, and you cannot turn heating in the train because it's. I don't think it even works, you know. So
in March. Ooh, yeah. That is not good. That is not good at all. Yeah. What is your most vivid memory of that episode that either you were so excited or you thought you were going to kill yourself because it's what was going on?
Well, I think it was the car chase. I mean, everything about this car chase was very fun and exciting, and how we made it actually to work, to look like it's actually happening, and then shooting on locations with the actual car chase with the drones and from other cars, and the part when they're stealing the car, and everything about that sequence was really fun. I mean,
yeah, it was hilarious when Charlie says, "Open the door."
Yeah.
Why are you opening the door? That doesn't make it. And then she just ran it and took it off.
She was thinking ahead.
Yeah, which was true.
I mean, originally it was a van, and I was like, why don't we make just like some old, really like like Eastern European car that makes no sense. They would chase a train with that, and they actually do, and then. Because the van has like a door that slides.
Yeah.
I was like, how are we going to jump from the? I was like, let's break the door at the beginning, and that's it.
Take care of that.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, it was very. Actually, in the script, it was very. That moment was very sci-fi-ish. I mean, it was completely different. They were supposed to open the door from the car through the library to the train, and then just go through that door.
Oh, really?
But it has to happen only if the car is in the same position where the train. It was very complicated. So we were trying to come up with how this is going to look. And I was talking to Dean, and then I just like almost like a joke said, like, why don't they just jump from the car? And he was like, actually, that will be so much more exciting because it's realistic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like so much. It would be so much explaining how they do it. We would lose the excitement. And he was like, I was like, are you sure? Because we can make this. He was like, no, I changed my mind. I want to make it like real car chasing train. They jump from the car to the train. That will be so much more exciting. And he was right, of course, as always.
Oh, it was. No, that was just like, whoa.
And especially having an old woman of 77 years old jumping from the, and actually seeing now that it's actually the actress, because you can actually see there is I left all the shots I could that are visible that is her.
Yeah, and there were. I mean, but I thought, oh, it's some trick, you know. I mean, she's not really doing that stunt.
Yeah.
That is wild that,
Yeah.
that she did that herself. I'm going to ask one other question that's going to shift us over. And if you want to go back to this episode, everyone, that is fine. Because, I mean, these 2 episodes that you did are some of my favorites from the season.
Thanks.
And, I mean, and the Feast of the Vampire. I mean, oh my.
Awesome.
I mean, Pablo nailed that.
Yeah.
He nailed that. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I've been trying to get him on, but since he is filming the Ark right now, he doesn't have time to come on to talk about the Librarians.
He's nailing Strickland every day still, so.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, I got to wait until after they finish filming. I'm going to have him come on and talk about this episode because, I mean, Marsha's laughing. I mean, it was just so funny, so humorous, and so
Did you see my cameo?
That's
yes.
I was going to leave that for Liz because Liz called me up and basically yelled, "Did you see Taki doing a cameo?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes, I did." Now, was that planned, or did you want to do that because it was so fun?
No, it was literally on set. I was just like, why don't I play some of the salesmen? And they were like, what? I was like, I will sell her the stick. So it was literally, I came up with the line myself, and the writer was there, and she was like laughing. She was like, sure, do it. And I had a different line, but she was like, it can be, you know, like understood wrongly in US. So I changed it to this one. It was something about the stick. I mean,
well, that was, I mean, it was so cool to see you. I mean,
yeah, well, when I finished, because I only signed for 1 episode for Ghost Train.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah. And then I was in Brussels doing some presentation of my potential future movie. And I just got a message from Dean, and he was like, Toki, your episode is amazing. It was so emotional and exciting and blah, blah, blah. And he was really excited about it. And he wrote, see, you can make a good episode without slow motions. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then literally 5 minutes later, I got a message from production. Hey, you just got episode 9. If you are available. I was like, sure, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's the other question I was going to ask. Did I miss your slow motion in the Ghost Train, or was there no slow motion?
There is only one.
I missed it. Where was it?
But it's not really like a usual my slow motion. It's the moment when Vikram touches the seat of
right. That's right. Okay, I totally spaced that out. And I watched it again yesterday, and I was saying, I am going to look and see if I can find where his slow-mo is.
Yeah,
and
so that was the one. But I can't
remember
missed it. I think in Vampire episode there wasn't any.
No, I don't remember, but hey, I missed the one in Ghost Train, so it's like, whatever. Well, I mean, okay, on that note, I'm going to head it over to Liz.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I made a feature film this summer, which is a comedy, local comedy.
Oh, did you?
But I made like so many slow motions. It's going to be a very long movie.
In other words, Dean, see, I still want to do my slow motions no matter,
Yeah, so like, okay, I cannot do it on Dean's show. I will do it on my movie.
Well, there you go. That works. Liz.
I wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for doing 2 of my favorite things combined together. You combined my love of vampires, and I have a fascination with them, and my love of horror, and you did it so brilliantly. It was so fun to watch. And like Michael said, when your cameo came up, I was literally on the phone screaming at him. Did you see it? And I was almost going to ask you, can you show us an on-air demonstration of vampire killing?
The same as I did in the show.
I'm teasing you, but yeah, no, you don't have to. But
No, I need like a steak and
make sure it's hardwood, not
yeah,
Yeah.
it has to
that
be a
fake stuff
proper
you were
one, yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
So,
But I was very happy to get this episode because, of course, I'm a big fan of vampires. From, it's either zombies or vampires. So, and also another thing is that you probably know, but maybe some of the audience doesn't. It's vampire is actually a Serbian word that is used
yeah.
there.
Vampire.
Because the first ever official, let's say, a record of vampires is in Serbian, documents from
Correct.
which century, and it means literally undead. I mean, so that's why it was fun, and I asked them to change the title not to be with because it was vampire with Y.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But now it's without E at the end.
Yeah.
Vampire.
Yeah.
And also
how it's pronounced is vampire in
vampire.
Serbian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why the bold vampire killer he pronounced it vampire because it is like a genuine, like a pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know.
Yeah, so it was my idea to remove E from vampire just because it's Serbian word is like that.
It makes it more authentic.
It
And that
does,
is primarily the whole thing that we have all noticed as the librarians is it sticks to real rooted culture or real rooted, places or events that have taken place. And I think that's one of the reasons there's such a huge fascination with it. People are enjoying the ride, yes, but they're also subconsciously learning stuff. So.
Yeah, but also everything that Connor says in the episode is true because this Petar Blagovic vampire is a historical figure, and he was actually from this village Kisiljevo that where they go to the village actually exists, and it's everything was like in archives that actually happened, that he was everything about the shoes and everything, it was actually true story.
Now,
so he was actually the first ever vampire, not Dracula, but him.
Yeah.
And then Dracula later on, of course, make the most popular one. But I was once invited to a Korean ambassador's residence because I made the Rift, which was a Korean co-production with Serbia. So I was in his residence, and he was just like, we had a dinner and everything, and then he was like, "Come to my library. Let's have a drink." And then in his library there are a lot of vampire books, and I was like, "Why do you have so many vampire books?" And he was like, "Because vampires are from Serbia. Romanians stole it from you. That's why I wanted to come to Serbia to And then he started telling he knew everything about vampires, but he was telling it like a real stories. I was like, okay, this is scary, So hello to Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Lee, and he's not anymore ambassador in Serbia, but he was a really great guy.
How did you get probably to actually break out of Felix Strickland's character? Because everything I have ever seen that man do, he has been deadpan straight. But you got him actually to be funny as all get out in this character. Was it stuff that you did that pulled it out of him, or just in general?
I mean, he's a great guy, funny and everything. So I knew he can do it, but also he's probably one of the best actors I ever worked with. So actually, it was Dean's idea that he plays this character. I have to say, because once I got the script, I was already told that Pavle, if he's available, he will play Petar, and which was, of course, great idea. And I think Dean wrote this or conceived this character for him because he wanted him in the show. Yeah, and he was amazing. I had him also. I did another movie this year, so I did 2 movies this year. And this other movie is a children's movie based on a book, and he also plays a very interesting character in this movie. He's one of the professors. Yeah.
Great.
Is that out yet, or is it still in production?
No, it's in post-production. It will be out in November, I think.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Double thing to get him to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And yeah, he was really, I mean, of course, amazing as always, and funny and scary. You know, when he becomes evil at the end, he was really scary. And yeah, it was fun. And also the Vampire Hunters, I really had fun with them. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, before we started shooting, I mean, prepping this episode, of course, I was like, let's watch my favorite vampire movies. So I watched Vampires from John Carpenter and Blade. And I was like, these vampire hunters should have some kind of weapons, you know, like, so I was like, hey, let's make all these guns with sticks and everything. And so all the weapons are, you know, inspired by John Carpenter's vampires. And the whole team is kind of like inspired by them.
Yeah, that was the impression I was getting too. Was like, that's kind of a bit of a rip on John Carpenter's vampires between, you know, how they were wearing some of the weapons and stuff. So I'm glad you confirmed my thought. Marcia
John
and
Carpenter
I
is my favorite director, so.
Yeah, Marcia and I both are big into merchandising with different things. The shirt you were wearing in your little clip, is it something you came up with? Is it something that
No,
you
actually,
came up with? Or?
I still have this shirt because I kept it. And well, more trivia now when we are on it. First, about the shirts, but two more things coming. The shirts, the art department made it like you know, just to have it to be sold on this festival, Vampire Festival. So I have several T-shirts like Kisiljevo Vampire Festival and stuff like that, and Vampires are from Serbia. No, it was all already made. I just picked up one of the. I mean, we already talked what are going to be there, but they come up with so many so cool ideas, and they have had this. I think they had also baseball hats and stuff like that with writings, but that one was, I really liked it. I think it was Vampires are from Serbia, right? That's one of my.
Yes.
Yeah. So the other thing is, remember when Connor is picking up some of the books on the.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too. Yeah.
So there is one book. It's called How I Survived Zone of the Dead.
Yes.
I saw that.
Written by Mina Milius, who is character from Zone of the Dead. And on the other side, when you really read what is it about, it says the plot of Zone of the Dead and how this FBI agent recorded, and nobody believed her that it actually happened. So that was one of the books. And the other book is, but yeah, that book had to pass clearance and everything because of Zone of the Dead title. So I was like, but this is my movie. They were like, we don't care. You sign it. You know, if somebody does something, it's you're responsible. And the other book is the old book he picks up. It's actually says John Carpenter's Vampires, but it's in Serbian.
Clever.
because I also translated his name in Serbian. You know, like
my.
Jovan Stolar is John Carpenter, but it says Jovan Stolar Vampiri, which is vampires.
Sneaky.
Okay. Very sneaky.
Yeah, it was very fun. I will just give me a second. I will show you something.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we had so much fun that I was directing with this arm, like,
oh wow,
because I picked it up from one of the those stands, and I was like, I'm going to direct you, and then I was like coming with this all the time, and everybody was. I mean, it was so fun to make this episode.
Oh
so
my god,
my directing hand on that episode.
I would have loved to have been just offset watching, because you guys must have absolutely had a blast with this one.
Yeah, but also director of the photography is one with the garlic around his neck and the hair.
So I thought I recognized him.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay.
Yeah, so we all had a lot of fun.
Like that. Speaking of fun, how much fun did you have directing Connor's expression or Bowie's expression when he first saw the library? And I know part of the library is filmed in an actual real library, if I'm not mistaken. Just a little bit part of it. Is that correct?
Well, actually, no.
No, okay. Everybody has said that, yeah, even though there's a bunch of special effects around it, just a little tiny part of it was actually filmed in a real one. So thank you
No,
for clearing
actually,
that up.
it was all shot in studio in Belgrade.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually because it was a new set and we couldn't make a really like the big library as it is or any of it, so it was built in pieces, and it was actually fun to shoot that scene because it was like I didn't want to make a lot of visual effects there, because everywhere it would be a green screen showing the
Right.
depth of the library. And I was like, it will be more organic if it's not so wide, but he's among the shelves and the books. So all the scenes that are there are actually, we had just like maybe 4 or 5 shelves, so we were just making a new corridor, like we shoot this scene, then we just turn them around.
Just things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was always like, it was so fun, like moving this, like it was just some kind of a game, like moving shelves and everything. And it was cool. And actually, the voice of the armor suit is the writer of the Ghost Train.
Oh,
Yeah, another trivia.
nice tidbit.
Oh,
We need to have a
God.
trivia game and see if other
Yeah.
people can figure it out.
Yep.
So, one of the things I really liked with Bluey on that was the fact that not only you got that sense of wonder coming out of him, but also when he ran into Cal. And did you use like a floating tennis ball or anything, or did he just kind of know where the marks were where Cal would be?
I don't think we had a tennis ball. He just knew where it was going to be. I
You
just
knew
told.
where it was.
No, sorry. We had a fake sword that
Okay.
we positioned in one approximately, and then right before the shot we removed it. So he knew. But when we were rehearsing, we were playing with the plastic sword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering with that. It's like because the eye contact and stuff, and I know that with the special effects, they can definitely gear in on that a little bit better. But I thought that was really kind of amazing directing that he was nailing that 100%.
Yeah, no, he was great, really. And
Yeah.
we had a lot. I mean, he was almost in every scene of this episode, and a couple of scenes because while we were shooting the finale, we had a big storm that actually stopped us from finishing on time. So we had to continue day after. So some of the scenes had to be rescheduled for later on. So every time we had like a slot, we would put one of the scenes with him. So I think he was shooting this episode almost like until the end of the season.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the scenes were planned to be like later on, like a second unit, which I would direct, of course, but some of it are not. So he will never. I mean, this was the longest episode he was shooting, just because of this. It was like a huge storm, and the finale. I mean, if you watch the final sequence on the backyard or yard of the castle, you can tell that there is. I mean, good thing is actually that we shot the daytime during the next day when it was nice time, and night time when it was like this stormy weather and everything. So it looked like it as it should be, but it was like really hard to shoot.
Oh, I can imagine.
And also, this episode was shot in many locations actually. So there is like the town of Kisiljevo, the fair, the festival is in Novi Sad.
Oh, okay.
And the fortress that is above the city is the Novi Sad fortress. I mean, a little bit expanded by CGI. Then in Belgrade, we shot dungeons and some of other stuff, and he falls from the wall and stuff like that. That was in Belgrade. And then all the museum of the torture museum and stuff. And then the finale was in a little bit further away in a big fortress of Smederevo, which was also a location for Aegisford in the Outpost.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it looked familiar early on.
Yeah.
Michael and I were discussing that, and he's like, "No, I don't know." And then later on, I was like, "Yeah, maybe it is." So, yeah. I know that I want to hand it over to Marcia here in a second, but if I don't get a chance again, thank you so much for doing this. We have learned so much, and I've had an absolute ball with you today. So
Yes,
thank
we
you,
have.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So many things. But in the Feast of the Vampire, when Jessica's walking and she picks up the T-shirt, we're talking about shirts, and she comments, I went to this vampire festival and all I got was this lousy shirt. But what about that shirt that she?
Yeah, I mean, all those shirts are they were part of this, like prop design to be just part of the, like the fair. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure somebody have this shirt because I have like 2 or 3 shirts. I don't know if production knows that. I hope they are not listening.
They do now.
Yeah, I also hope they are not missing this
They're not looking
claw.
for it.
Yo, you should wear the
Yeah.
shirt on the Ark the next time you shoot something, and
Yeah,
really mess
actually,
them up.
I mean, I should have actually dressed this Kisiljeva t-shirt. I just there is like a one really red, so that was just maybe
Yes.
it would be too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I wanted to tell you this guy who plays the leader of vampires. He's a Serbian actor. He was also in one of the episodes of The Outpost, but also he was in Skyfall in James Bond. He plays one of the
Ooh.
guys who takes Daniel Craig to Javier Bardem, and then Daniel Craig kills him in that yard.
Somebody is a trivia, a font of trivia. We need to
Yeah.
have you on just to spill the beans.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say, I initially saw Pablo in The Outpost, and he played Marvin, and that voice of his, he has a very distinctive, low, thundering voice. And I am lucky enough to have been able to see Franco Langella on Broadway do Dracula. And he also had that kind of low rumbling voice, and they reminded me of each other, and so I was really happy to see Pablo in this episode. I thought he was fantastic, and thank you for your directing, because that's what brings the whole thing together.
Well, I always have luck to get really fun, cool episodes, but I guess maybe it's not luck. Maybe just Dean wants me to do these kind of episodes. So, yeah, yeah, because for the season 2, I mean, I got 2 even better episodes. So,
Wow.
I mean, you will see season 2, but I think you will be even more delighted when you see 2 of my episodes. I mean, the whole season 2 is amazing. I think season 2 is going to be huge and like very cool and awesome and exciting and everything. But yeah, I got really episodes.
Thank you for more anticipation towards season 2. We already can't wait.
We
And I
can't
also
wait.
wanted to explore maybe something else that I don't know if you're able to talk about. What I saw on your IMDb page is regarding Tesla.
Generation Tesla.
Yeah, Generation Tesla. Is that something that you are able to give us any tidbits about? Or?
Yeah. It's actually based on a 90s comic book that actually other Milan wrote. So that's how we met, because I was when I was a kid, I was a big fan of his comic books, and that's why I contacted him to write my script. So I was his fan when I was a kid. And this Generation Tesla is something like Serbian Avengers. They are just some people with some superpowers, but not really like. It was more like contained kind of thing, and they all have Nikola Tesla in their visions, who is actually he's like their Professor X practically, who is guiding them through their fights. And I was pushing Milan for many years to develop it as a TV show. So we pitched it to one production company here in Belgrade to make it but it should be in Serbian. We just really wanted to make like a Serbian superhero, like Marvel kind of thing. And then they actually loved it, and they got the option, and Milan wrote I think 8 or maybe 8 episodes, and that would be the first season. But now the situation in country is not so great as it was at that time, so not sure when it's going to happen, but I'm like looking forward to it because it's very exciting, but also huge. So it will be very expensive for Serbian productions. You know, it will be just like the ending of it is like a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really hoping to make this because it was my favorite comic when I was a kid, and also that's Milan's, you know, like first thing he wrote. So I mean, it should be fun.
I'm looking forward to this, and it's in English, right? It's going to be in.
No, it's going to be in Serbian.
It'll be in Serbian. Well, that's
Yeah.
okay. I don't mind.
But for sure, I mean, actually, this production company wanted to make it more international. So if they make a partnership with some of the platforms, it may actually be in English, but it will be like Serbian setting, you know.
Okay.
But even if it is in Serbian, some of the characters are American, so they will probably speak part of it in English. And yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm echoing Liz, and I'm sure Michael. Thank you so much for being with us again today, and we look forward to having you back again to talk about other goodies.
So Librarian season 2, the Ark season 3, just call me. You know.
All
So
right.
both Librarian season 2 and Ark season 3. I mean, it's better than everything before. So.
Woohoo!
Oh, that's what I've heard.
We've heard that, and we are so excited about that.
Yes,
Oh
we
yeah.
are.
But thank you, Taki, so much for coming back again.
Thank you.
It was hard to get you because you got so busy when Librarians aired here, and you go, I'll come whenever I can. But I'm glad you were busy. I'm glad you were busy.
No, but I told you I was doing 2 movies, and
yes,
Librarians
and the Librarians, and the Ark.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, more stuff for later. So but as I said, thank you so much. And everybody out there, like, subscribe, follow our social media and Talkies also, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.